In this video, we'll show you how to use the premium Gantt chart template to create a customized Gantt chart based on your project needs. The power of this Gantt chart template is that you can do all of this with just a few inputs and a click of the button, and that's what we're going to show you how to do today. The first step is to enable macros if you haven't already done so. You might see this security warning bar up here that macros have been disabled. Microsoft Excel does this to protect you against spyware and viruses, but in this case you don't have to worry about any of that because that macros are actually going to make your life a little easier. So you click the options button, hit enable this content, and click OK, and you're all set to go. Now your project is probably divided up into broad task categories and then subtasks for each of those categories. So I'll illustrate with one of my own projects, which is making a new bicycle prototype. So I'm going to have two major task categories, and that's what I input here in cell B7. The first major task category is actually designing the bicycle, and the second is manufacturing the prototype. So you notice that when I inputted the two task categories, I'm going to have two options to put in the number of subtasks. So the design is going to have 3 subtasks, and the manufacturing is going to have 2 subtasks. That's what I input in column C. Of course, you can customize this for the needs of your project. As many task categories as you need, as many subtasks as you need for each task category. Now, in column E, we have the option to include holidays for the chart that we're going to create. I'm just going to include Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, but you can include, again, whatever you would like. Now, you click the Generate Gantt Chart button, and boom, you're going to have a Gantt chart that is customized based on exactly what you had inputted earlier on. So let me just zoom in here to kind of show you what this can do. And first of all, let's put our company name up here. So Kanjo Incorporated, and the project name, as we mentioned, is simply bicycle prototype. So the project has actually already been going on for a few days. I'm going to say that it's 2010, and today's date is 9/20/2010, and my name is Vic. So now we've got all the basic inputs in place. Let's now start establishing our task names. So as we said earlier, first major task is identifying designing bike. So I need to identify a designer, select designer, and then finally evaluate designs. Excuse me. And second task, as we mentioned, is build prototype. So select manufacturer and give specifications. There we go. So that's our simple Gantt chart for this project. Now, in column E, we want to input our start date for each of these tasks and the associated end date. So, how do we do this? First of all, we're going to say for identifying the designer, for example, we might want to say it starts on the 15th. That's the first step, and it's going to end the week after. Selecting the designer is going to start right after that on September 22nd, and it's going to end on September 29th. And you see, as we input these things, that the bars over here are changing along with it. And we also have this red line that shows today's date, and so you can adjust this to see what tasks you've already completed to date and what tasks are yet to come. Now we need to evaluate designs. So that's going to also take, let's say, 5 days. So we start on September 29th, 2010, and it's going to end, say, October 3rd, 2010. Great. So the entire designing bike process is going to go from the 15th to October 3rd, 2010. Great. Now, how long is it going to take us to build a prototype? We validated the design, so we're going to start this at 10/3/2010, and first of all, we're going to start selecting the manufacturer on that day. We're going to end probably 2 weeks later, so we'll say 2010. On that day, we're going to start giving specifications to the manufacturer. And my goal is to finish this whole thing up by November 1st of 2010, so that's what I'm going to input there. Now, you see that for the second task, build prototype, it's going to run from 10/3/2010 till November 1st of 2010, so we get that inputted there. Now the only thing left that we got to complete here is the days that have already been completed in this task. So, for example, since today's date is the 20th, I want to say 5 days have already been completed, and you can see that as soon as I input that, there's going to be a little blue line that shows what's already been completed, and you can do the same thing here, and that's going to show that we've made some progress along the way, and here are the things that are going to need to come later on. So that's an overall view of how to use this Gantt chart template. I hope you find it very helpful. If you have any problems, you can always contact us by visiting www.ganttchart.org and hitting the contact form, and we'll always give you customer service for any problems you might occur. Any suggestions you might have will also be helpful. So best of luck, and thank you very much for watching.